we are gonna talk about passing from spider guard, right? Because sometimes spider guard can be very much a nuisance, right? So let's go look at Deliva. Remember, we were passing from Deliva. So when you're passing from Deliva, a lot of times the issue, not the issue, but the challenge that must be solved is the limitation of the movement of your legs, right? Because he's entangling it with his leg, he's grabbing my ankle, he's controlling my collar, right? He's limiting a lot of my movement. Now we're facing a new dilemma, a new situation. Passing from spider guard, we can move our legs. So go ahead and put me in spider guard B, double sleeves. Just bring your leg over the top for like a shallow lasso, okay? So from spider guard, right? Look, I can move my legs, you see? I can freely move my legs. So the issue isn't necessarily mobility. The issue, however, is that you're dealing with an opponent who is creating a lot of distance, right? They're creating a lot of distance, maybe it doesn't matter if they're taller or shorter. When they have this situation, when they have a foot at the shoulder, when they have a nice frame, foot on the bicep from the spider guard, this situation can be kind of annoying, right? So today I'm gonna go over a very simple solution that you guys can start using from passing from spider guard. Guys got it? So partner on bottom, you guys are gonna start off with double sleeves. You're gonna have the foot on the bicep and the other foot on the shoulder, just like this, a shallow lasso. So we have the foot on the bicep, spider guard, go ahead and flex your foot B, and we have the foot on the shoulder, shallow lasso. From here, guys, let's go over a couple things first before we go over the pass real quick. One thing that you guys want to be observant about is the positioning of this arm. If your elbow is too far separated from your body, you leave yourself susceptible to triangles. Go shoot a triangle maybe. Yes, right? Triangles, arm bars, omoplatas. Anytime that you guys leave your elbow very much separated from your body. So when I'm in spider guard, typically he's gonna have one side with the foot on the bicep, the main spider hook, right? This is the main spider hook. When he has the foot on the bicep, this is typically some form of spider guard. There's different kinds of spider guards, just like, like in animals, the insects, there's different kinds of spiders, but the standard, the commonality between all the spider guards is this foot on the bicep. Okay? And typically the most standard, very simple that we'll get to, is the double sleeve. So he's got both of my sleeves and he puts the foot at the shoulder. Just like this. Guys got it? So go ahead and keep your spider hook stronger. There you go. Yes, sir. So guys, one of the most common passes that you're going to see from spider guard, it's one of my favorites, but I'm going to add a few details that really add to the effectiveness. It's called the Throwby pass. What pass are we going to work on? The Throwby, right? But the funny thing, the name of the pass is called a Throwby. So sometimes people, when they think of the Throwby, they use a lot of arm strength because it's like a throw, right? Throwby. So like just the name of it, sometimes physically you try to match the name of it, but you're gonna see, guys, in this pass, how I use my hips, okay? So he has the foot on the bicep or in the shallow lasso. Now from here, you guys notice I keep my arm tight to my body, right? This arm here, I keep it tight to my body, right? Keep it strong, keep your spider strong. Now from here, I'm gonna cut an angle to where I can bring my hips on the side of his outer thigh here. Watch this. You see how, you guys see the positioning of my body? Am I engaging my hip right now? Am I engaging my hip? No, right? But look at this. Once I engage my hip, look how I'm able to clear the foot on the bicep very easily. I can break this grip. And then now this is what I like to do. I like to wedge my arm. I'll give you guys a couple options. I like to wedge my arm on the far side hip. So now if he tries to throw his left foot over, look how I can just easily rotate him. Because if I turn his hips this way, how can he throw his foot this way? You see, he's very weak. In order for this foot to be effective, he needs to turn this way. Now the motion of the leg wipe is much stronger, right? So one more time. Second option, instead of coming to the far side hip, I can simply bring my hand here and grab his ankle on the outside. And it's as simple as this. I face his foot the other way. Look what I'm doing. I'm turning his hip this way and I face his foot this way. Coach B, try to recover your guard. See how strong this is? Anytime I can face the bottom of my opponent's foot away from me, this is always going to be a positive thing, guys. Guys, see that? Because think about it. If the bottom of his feet face you, see that? That's a good thing for him because he's able to post his feet on me, able to establish good connection. Okay? So one more time, look at the details, guys. When I do the hip bump, so it's called a throw-by. People call it throw-by, but I associate it more as a hip bump because I'm using my hips. So here, look how I cut this angle, guys. I'm not coming directly into the spider hook. You guys see this? I'm cutting this angle here. I engage my hip. Guys see that? Look. B, keep it as tight as you can. Guys see? So engage your hip, right? If you ever feel like maybe you're using too much strength or if the foot on the bicep is super sticky, just remember to engage your hip. You guys see that? I'm engaging my hip. Anyone see it again? Chris. You got this, big dog. Think about it this way. I saw you in the weight room. When you're engaging your hip like that, it's almost like when you're coming up from the bottom of a squat, right? Right? When you're coming up from the bottom of a squat, you're like here, and then you're engaging your hip in that process, right? Here. See how I cut this angle? Look at my footwork too. I'm not walking slowly like this. You know, look at my footwork. Look at my footwork. I instep, and then I outstep. Guys see that? I can come here. Or I come to the far side hip. Now he tries to throw his foot over. Doesn't matter. Even if this foot, look, his foot's on my shoulder, but Coach B can even attest to it. It's not helping at all. If anything, it's very weak from here. It's funny how you guys are laughing, but I would actually really do that. Like, get out of the way. Especially if the foot stinks. Like he's been wearing his shoes all day. Tatlu, dude. Shreddy would like. And then the guy recovers guard. You're going to be in the same position. Coach B is going to have the same grips. What we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to achieve the same result as the hip bump, but now we're just going to use our knee. Watch this. So he's here. He has the foot on bicep. So the hip bump, right? I'm coming in, subtly rotating his hip the other way, right, guys? That's the main thing I want you guys to pick up real quick before I continue. That's the main thing I want you guys to understand. Turn his or her hips the other way, right? It doesn't matter how flexible someone is. If you have their hip turned the other way, there's no way that they can throw the other leg into you. See, in order for him to do that, he has to turn to this hip. But as long as you keep his hip turned this way, look, try to, right? It's very difficult for them to do anything, right? So this next one is similar as the hip bump, but you guys are gonna see I'm just using my knee. So we're here. He has the foot on bicep. Now from here, guys, I'm gonna achieve a similar angle as the hip bump, But instead of using my hip, look how I use my knee, guys. And Coach B can feel it on his quad. I use my knee here to alleviate the pressure on the foot on the bicep. So one more time. I'm here. Look how I step in. The hip bump, use the hip bump, guys. If the hip bump is more comfortable for you, continue to use the hip bump. But look how when I come here, instead of using my hips, I'm using my knee as a wedge to redirect and alleviate the pressure of the foot on the bicep, right? So we're here, going to keep it tight, B. Using my knee here, just subtly as a wedge to put pressure to turn his hip the other way, right? It looks very similar as the hip bump. If anything, it's very much sister techniques, right? Very similar. The results is the same, but now you guys can incorporate your knee as a wedge on his quad to turn his leg this way, right? Just like this. So imagine he's here. Go ahead and just keep it slightly bent. I'm just using my knee here to turn his like that. See that? Just using my knee like that. It's that subtle of a movement, but you guys are going to see it's very effective. See, using my knee. Now we come here. So instead of the hip, now I'm just using my knee to wedge it out. Guys, got it? And here's something to think about as well, guys. When we talk about removing the foot off the bicep, I think for some people, and I used to think the same way. It's like when you talk about removing the foot off the bicep, you're like imagining the foot's like completely removed. No. Guys, as soon as I feel the tension come off my bicep, rock and roll. It's off. Even before that, it's off. His foot's off my bicep. Coach B, is your foot on my bicep? Nope. No way, right? So the foot doesn't need to be completely turned away for you to feel, oh, I removed the foot off the bicep. As soon as you feel the pressure come off, rock and roll. What happens when the pressure comes off, Ian?
Rock and roll.
Yes, sir. So rock and roll, guys. Once that foot comes off the bicep, it's go time. See how I use the wedge on the cross side here? If you're a little bit more finesse and you're not trying to get super tight, you can come here. Boom. I frame. Look at this. You guys see how my knee is wedging his elbow and knee? You know how I always talk about like preventing elbow to knee connection for passing guard, right? Separating elbow to knee. Look how my knee is like a wedge, right? Going to keep that. It's like a wedge. And then look, I just pass off to my other knee on belly, right? So you guys can be creative in terms of how you want to secure the position. The main thing I want to really teach you guys is taking the pressure off the foot off your bicep and then turning his hip the other way, even just very slightly. One more time. Guys got it? Any questions? Guys, it basically looks like the hip bump, but just in your mind, add that new detail of wedging your knee to help you push that foot off and alleviate that pressure on your bicep. Guys got it? Any questions? Let's do it. Let's do it for 5 minutes and we'll get some water. On three. 1, 2, 3. What's up? One more technique to show you guys a different way of removing the foot off the bicep. So Coach B, he's going to have me in the same position, right? You guys notice we're going over the same position. Foot on the bicep, shallow lasso on the other side. There's different variations of spider guard. Just starting off the baseline, common spider guard variation you guys will see. Double sleeve, foot on bicep, shallow lasso. Let me ask you guys a question. Where is Coach B primarily framing me? My upper body or my lower body? Exactly right, of course. He's got both feet. Go to keep it strong. Yeah. He's got a great foot on bicep. He's got the foot on my shoulder, right? Let's go ahead and turn this way so people can see. So guys, I want you to observe the movement that I'm creating here. But before I show you the movement, keep it as strong as you can. Let's just imagine he's not gripping me, right? Let's just imagine. Keep it strong. Oh, sticky. I try to push it this way. Oh, it's sticky. Let's go scoot in this way. Got to get in the camera. This is a good one. So look, I push this way. Sticky. I push it this way. Sticky, right? But look at this. Look at this. I want you guys to see something. I'm going to push right underneath his like Achilles. We'll call that the Achilles, right? I push right behind that Achilles. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Do as strong as you can. But dude, I know you freaking lift weights. Dude, come on, dude. Rills? Rills, dude? Come on, dude. Guys, he's just messing around. Dude, real? Yeah. Come on, real? Dude. Real? I guess if you push at that part of the leg, that hook's coming off real easy. Whoa. But wait a minute. What's the issue? How come we cannot just push his foot off like that? Why? Whoa! Look at you, dude. Smart. Good job, buddy. Good job. So proud of you. So, I can't, right? He's gripping the other side, so I can't just do that, right? Obviously, if you're able to break the grip, you can just do that, right? See that? But he's got that other grip. And you're like, man, coach, like, what do I do? I feel stuck. Where's he framing me, guys? The upper body or the lower body? So technically, Coach B, look, if I try to drive forward with my shoulders, see, I'm not going anywhere. But watch this. He cannot stop my legs from moving. You see? He cannot stop it. Right? See, he cannot stop my legs from moving. See that? At this current time, he can't. He can do certain adjustments to slow me down, but just this traditional double sleeve, foot on the bicep, foot on the shoulder, he can't stop my hip movement. So watch what I do, guys. Keep it strong. Look what I do. I use that knowledge, go down like, okay. I use that knowledge of putting pressure at that part of the ankle to pop it off. So I'm going to use my chest here, guys, my rib cage. I'm going to position my body to put it right at that spot, right? So go ahead and get the foot on the bicep. Yep, foot at the shoulder. Look at this. I'm going to step forward with my right knee. Look at this, guys. See how I'm moving my right knee? I step forward with my right knee to pass his belt. See, I pass his belt line. I pass his belt line. Wherever your partner's belt line is, your right knee passes it. My right knee passes, and I step forward. Right knee passes, I step forward. My right knee passes, I step forward. Go ahead and keep it as strong as you can be. My right knee passes, I step forward. Look how I use the side of my lat. Once again, turning his hip the other way, pass and go. Stuck. Nice. You guys see how I'm moving my right knee? If you guys are wondering how I'm moving my right knee so easily, it's because most of my body weight is on my left knee, right? I'm balancing on my left knee so my right leg feels weightless. Obviously, if my weight's on top of my right leg, I cannot move, right? I have to put the weight on the left knee so I can move my right knee. Also, I'm putting some of my body weight on top of his foot on bicep, right? It's almost like it's supporting me. It's keeping me up. Pop it off. Now we just turn his foot the other way, right? Turn his or her foot the other way. It's that simple. Turn the foot the other way. Then you guys can finish the pass how you guys like, right? However you guys want. Side, control, whatever. You guys have any questions? Any questions? No questions? Let's drill this for a few minutes. Straights are rolling. You guys got it? 1, 2, 3.